It's Thursday, May 14th, 2020. Well, we all saw another example of just how fake the stock market is today. We all saw the manipulation. It's just absolutely fascinating to watch the magic tricks play out right before your very eyes. Dow Jones was down 450 points earlier this morning, closes up in the green, 377 points. While getting the news that we added another 3 million people jobless here in America, putting the total, if you take into account people who haven't applied yet, people who don't count, people who haven't gotten through on the websites or on the phone lines, if you take into account the real jobless number here in America, it's over 55 million. 3 million more people added today. Dow Jones closes in the positive, up 377 points. So the bad news is good news, but it just pure insanity that we are sitting here in a frozen economy. Nobody's working. Literally half of the US is not working. And the stock market continues to go up. I don't think that you need to have the highest IQ to understand that this is massive manipulation, and that nobody really cares what the Dow Jones does today if they're sitting at home worried about how they're going to pay their house payment or their rent or the car payment. The real economy is suffering. Unlike we have ever seen in the history of America. And people, I think, must be getting upset with watching the stock market, watching the 1% continue to get wealthy while America sits at home, locked up, not working, on borrowed time, because the stimulus checks run out, the unemployment benefits will run out. And every day that goes by, there are companies and businesses that are not going to reopen. So millions of people are not going to have a job to return to. It's appalling what we are watching take place with this economy, with the markets, with the Fed buying everything. The buyer and seller of last resort is holding everything together with a rubber band. And I'm here to warn every one of you today, you better be getting ready. You better be preparing. You better be putting cash away. You better be putting gold and silver away. I've been saying this for a couple years now because I saw the writing on the wall. Like so many of you watching this video saw what was coming, and now it's here. And so many people ignored it. And while they're sitting at home on borrowed time, because the checks are going to stop coming, but the bills aren't. The bills will continue to pile up long after the unemployment checks stop, long after the stimulus checks stop. The bills continue to come. And these people who didn't prepare, millions of these people are going to be in huge trouble. Gold right now up around $23. Silver was up earlier today, 49 cents. The 10-year at 0.62. Weekless jobless claims total 2.981 million, bringing the tally to 36.5. That's the official number. That's on CNBC today. But again, the real number is over 55 million when you take into account the people who aren't being counted, the people who have rolled off, the people who are ineligible, the people who haven't gotten through the websites or the phone lines yet. We are blowing past 55 million people. Half of America right now is not working. Here's another article on CNBC with 36 million Americans filing new jobless claims in the past 2 months. Unemployment insurance systems are struggling to keep up. State insurance systems have struggled to keep up with the demand, leaving millions of Americans without pay for weeks. I mean, just imagine, these people who worked hard, paid into the system, and now they need those benefits and they're not getting them. And the bills aren't stopping. So They have to be paid. Yet the benefits and the help is not arriving for millions of people. As systems try to catch up, the focus will turn to state trust funds that could run out before the end of the year. That's on CNBC today. And it just seems like everybody and everything is running out of money. The consumer, the household, corporations, states, local municipalities, and the U.S. government. Everybody and everything is running out of money. And so our answer is to print a boatload of it, continuing to devalue all of our purchasing power, bringing in the threat of hyperinflation. Negative rates are coming. For the people out there that laughed about that a year ago, most are not laughing now. Negative rates are coming. Another article today, nearly 40% of low-income workers lost their jobs in March. Nearly 40% of those with a household income below $40,000 reported a job loss in March. Expect these numbers to go up when we see the April numbers. It's going to get worse. Wolfstreet.com, trucking and rail volume collapsed. You know, there's a lot of people out there that really do believe everything's going to bounce right back. There's going to be a V-shaped recovery. And when you do your homework, when you look at the numbers, that's absolutely going to be impossible. Shipment volume in the U.S. by truck, rail, and air collapsed by 22.7% in April compared to April of last year, and is down 25% from April of 2018. This is according to the Case Freight Index for shipments. It was the 17th month in a row of year-over-year declines. I'm here to tell all of you there's going to be no V-shaped recovery, and I'm here to tell you that millions of people are not going to be returning to their jobs because the companies they once worked for are not going to exist. Many of these companies that stay in business are going to stay in business for a short period, and then they're gonna go down too. They've taken on too much debt, too much damage has been done, and it's a horrible, horrible time. But look, I'm being realistic. I'm just reporting what I'm reading here. I'm giving you my thoughts, my opinion, but mathematically, there is going to be no V-shaped recovery. There's going to be no economic boom. We really need, as Americans, to hunker down, and we need to be honest with ourselves about what is happening and what is coming. This is going to be the worst economic collapse in the history of America. Another article today on the hedge. Hertz cancels 90% of new car purchases, further pressuring already desperate automakers. That's on the hedge. So what do you think this means? You know, this was really holding up the auto industry. It was all these fleet sales from all these rental companies. They were really holding sales up. And now a lot of these rental companies are not going to be buying massive amounts of new cars. So expect to see layoffs, continued layoffs, people in the auto industry who will not be returning to work. There's going to be restructuring. There's going to be downsizing, especially in the auto industry and many industries across the board. But the auto industry is going to get decimated. It's been in a depression now for months, and it is going to get much worse. Another article today, spending and deficit set all-time records. Fed spent $3.3 trillion through April while running $1.48 trillion deficit. 100% unsustainable. More money is going out than coming in. And anybody that can manage a balanced checkbook understands that when more money is going out than coming in, you have a big problem. If you're a household and you're spending more money than coming in, you're going to be in big trouble because eventually you don't have money to pay the bills. You can't pay the credit card payments. You can't pay the auto loans. You can't pay the light bill or the heat bill. And then you can't pay the house bill. And sooner or later, it's all taken away from you. And then you have no more credit and you can't borrow any more money. But I mean, this is just economics 101 here. More money going out than coming in equals big trouble. And this is what America's been doing for decades. This is what the average consumer, the average household's been doing, the average corporation. More money going out than coming in. And there's going to be a severe price to pay here, and it's coming. Another article today, MGM Resorts unveils reopening plan for Las Vegas casinos and hotels. And, you know, that's good news. It's good to see things reopening. I think this is going to be very interesting because I think Vegas is going to be a good barometer on how the U.S. economy is recovering. Because when people have money, when they're working, they want to go have fun. They go to Vegas, they gamble, they party, they get away. And so I think it's a good barometer of how things are going to bounce back. So we'll keep an eye on what happens in Vegas. But I don't see good things, especially in Las Vegas. You know, who's going to go to Vegas when all employees are wearing masks? They're going to take many of the chairs away from the tables, from the poker tables. Buffets closed. We're going to be pulling chairs and tables out of the restaurants. Bars will be closed. I don't know what the pool scene will be like. Are they going to social, you know, are they going to distance you at the swimming pools? So what's the point of going to Vegas? And then we have a lot of people who are very panicked right now, very fearful of even leaving their homes. Obviously, many people don't have a job right now. Many people won't be returning to a job. And there's going to be a lot of economic uncertainty with the average American wondering if their job is going to be around a month, 2 months, or 6 months from now. And people are going to be very conservative now, putting money away because they don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. They don't know what next month is going to bring. So will they return to Vegas? Are they going to return to restaurants? Will they return to shopping malls? Will they return to the mom and pop restaurants, the mom and pop retailers? Will they? I think that I think we're really underestimating how bad this is going to be. And I think that a lot of economists out there that I watch on the television are selling people a dream. I don't think this thing is going to recover like they say it is. In fact, I think it's got a long way down to go. You know, too many people are watching the television. They're believing the people on television in the nice suits and the nice ties with the PhDs in economics. Those people telling you and I, telling everybody, everything's going to be okay. Things are going to bounce right back. Jump into these markets right now. Put all your faith in the financial institutions. Everything's going to be fine. You know, if you really want to understand the economy and what's happening in this economy, talk to your neighbor. Go outside of your bubble. Jump in your car. Go take a drive. Go drive through your city. You're going to see probably what I see. And many of you who haven't done this may be shocked with what you're going to see. You're going to start seeing the vacant buildings. You're going to see the vacant office buildings. You're going to see the vacant retailers. You're going to see the tents popping up all over your cities. You're going to see the tents off the freeways. You're going to see homeless people walking all over the place, all over your cities. We are being flooded with a homeless epidemic now in America. We're being flooded with a commercial real estate crisis, flooded with vacancies. That's happening in one of the biggest counties in America, right here, Riverside County. And as I read the comments down below, and those comments are a wealth of knowledge, I recommend everybody read those comments. If you want to really know what's happening in America, don't listen to these people with the PhD in economics with the fancy suit and tie, because they're out of touch. They don't live in the real world. The people in the comments, they live in the real world. Your neighbors live in the real world. The people on television, you know, making 7 figures a year to sucker you into the stock market, they don't live in the real world. The PhD crowd has no idea what is happening right now, or what is about to happen, or what is about to hit the U.S. economy. The PhD crowd is always the last to know. And as I said before, you know, some of the most intelligent people that I know that went to some of the best schools in the country are some of the most uninformed, dumbed down people I've ever met. I'll tell you who knows what's going on. The guy that owns a small business in America is beginning to know what's going on. The guy losing his house knows what's going on. Your neighbor with 3 kids and 2 cars and a mortgage, now without a job, knows what's going on. The homeless man sleeping in a tent, he knows what's going on. They know much more than the PhD crowd, the crowd that so many millions of Americans turn on their little television and listen to every day. We are in a debt and unemployment death spiral. We just spent $48 billion last month for unemployment benefits in this country. 50 plus million people are jobless in America. We are not manufacturing anything here. New factories are not being built. We are dependent on other countries for everything from plastics, aluminums, steel, pharmaceuticals, food. The PhD crowd on television is telling you one thing, but the people on Main Street, the people in the real U.S. economy, the small business owner, the restaurant owner, the people losing their houses, the people who are going homeless now, the people who are standing in food lines know 100 times more the reality of what's happening to this economy. If you get a moment, take a few minutes, read the comments down below. I think that you'll get a lot more knowledge and a lot more truth of what's happening to this economy by the American people telling you than somebody on Fox Business or CNBC in a $2,000 suit. Look, you can believe what the television tells you, or you can step out of your bubble, jump in your car, take a drive into your local city, and take a look at the vacancies, take a look at the tent cities, take a look at the homeless people wandering around, take a look at what's happening to your neighbors now. Many of you know what I'm talking about, and many more are going to wake up to the reality that this economy is on borrowed time.